My name is Elena, and I'm 31 years old. I've been married to my husband, Jacob, for almost 8 years now. When I first married Jacob, I truly believed I was the luckiest woman in the world. He loved me deeply, had a good job, a beautiful home, and a nice car. For a long time, we were very happy together, sharing laughter, dreams, and quiet evenings at home. But slowly things began to change in ways I couldn't understand. Jacob started coming home late, often without calling or sending a single message. He stopped answering his phone when I was near, and his words began to sound distant. Sometimes he said, "I'm stuck in traffic," or "I had to meet a client unexpectedly." At first, I tried to trust him, but little by little, doubt began to fill my heart. One night, Jacob came home after midnight while I sat waiting with cold dinner on the table. When I asked where he had been, he simply said, "Just work, Elena. Please don't worry." But I could tell something wasn't right. His eyes looked tired and uneasy. His hands were shaking slightly as he took off his jacket and avoided my gaze. That night, while he was in the shower, I picked up his phone with trembling fingers. My heart started racing as I opened his messages and saw a name: Clara. There were dozens of texts from her, filled with smiling emojis and kind words. She had written, "Thank you for staying with me again today. I had such a great time." Then another one said, "Maybe next time we can have coffee together." My whole world froze at that moment. It felt like the ground disappeared beneath me. Tears blurred my eyes as I whispered to myself, "He lied. He betrayed me." When Jacob came out of the shower, I threw the phone at him and shouted, "Who is Clara?" He looked shocked and said quietly, "Elena, please listen to me first." "Don't you dare lie again," I yelled, shaking with anger. "You've been seeing another woman." Jacob tried to hold my hand, but I pulled away and stepped back. "It's not what you think," he said gently, but I refused to listen. I was too hurt, too angry, and too lost to hear any explanation. That night I told him to leave the house, and he didn't argue. He only looked at me with sad eyes and said softly, "Someday you'll understand, Elena." I hope that day comes before it's too late. Weeks passed. I didn't call him, and he didn't call me either. Every night I cried quietly, pretending I didn't need him, trying to be strong. One evening, while walking home from work, I saw a woman standing near the bus stop. She was slim, a little younger than me, holding a small boy's hand tightly. Her face looked familiar, and then I realized she was Clara, the woman from the messages. My heart filled with anger all over again as I walked up to her. "So you're the one who took my husband?" I said sharply. Clara looked shocked and stepped back. "Your husband?" she asked softly. "Don't pretend," I said. "I saw your messages with Jacob." "I know everything." Her eyes filled with tears, and she looked down at the ground before speaking. "Mrs. Elena," she said, her voice trembling, "I'm so sorry. You misunderstood everything. Jacob was only helping me. My little boy is very sick. He has a heart problem. Your husband has been paying for his treatment for months." I froze, unable to believe what I was hearing. "What?" I whispered. She nodded, tears running down her cheeks. My husband died in an accident 2 years ago, she said softly. Jacob was his best friend. Before he died, he made Jacob promise to take care of us. Jacob never told anyone about what he was doing. He didn't want people to feel sorry for him or praise him for being kind. He only wanted to keep his promise and do what was right in silence. My throat went dry, and I couldn't find any words to say. Clara took out her phone and showed me all the messages from Jacob. There were money transfers, hospital bills, and texts from doctors about her son's treatment. Then she said softly, Jacob even sold his car last month to pay for my son's surgery. Tears filled my eyes, and my legs began to shake under me. My heart felt heavy and broken at the same time. My husband hadn't been lying. He never lied to me. He was saving a child's life. He was helping a widow, and I had thrown him out of the house. I called Jacob's number again and again, but he never answered. I sent him a message saying, Jacob, I'm sorry. Please come home. No reply ever came. Days passed painfully slow. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his tired face from that night. And I kept hearing his soft voice saying, someday you'll understand. I finally decided I had to find him and tell him the truth in my heart. When I called his office, they said he hadn't come in for a whole week. One of his friends told me that Jacob had gone to another city for some personal reason. Fear started to grow inside me like a cold storm. 2 days later, the phone rang. It was the hospital. Mrs. Elena, they said, your husband has been in an accident. My heart stopped beating for a moment. When I reached the hospital, I saw him lying pale and weak on the bed. His head was wrapped in white bandages, and his lips were trembling softly. I ran to him, crying, Jacob, please open your eyes. I'm so sorry. Slowly, his eyes opened, and he gave me a small, tired smile. Elena, he whispered, don't cry. You look beautiful when you smile. I held his hand tightly, my tears falling on his skin. Why didn't you tell me the truth? I asked through sobs. He looked at me with gentle eyes and said, because I wanted you to love me for who I am, not for what I do. I never wanted you to feel guilty or burdened. I just wanted to do what was right. My eyes overflowed with tears. I was so foolish, I cried. I doubted you, shouted at you, and threw you away. He smiled faintly and said, it's okay, Elena. Love isn't about being perfect. It's about understanding, even when the truth is hidden. I couldn't stop crying as I begged him to come home soon. But fate had other plans. Jacob couldn't survive the night. His body gave up quietly because of internal bleeding. When the doctor told me, my world fell apart completely. I fell to the floor, screaming his name in pain. The man I had doubted, the man I had called a liar, was gone forever. Later, I found a letter folded neatly inside his bag. It said, Elena, I never wanted to hurt you. I only wanted to help a friend's family. You once told me you wanted to love a man who makes the world better. I tried to be that man for you. Please don't blame yourself. Live your life fully. Be kind. I will always love you. I pressed the letter to my heart and cried until no tears were left. Now 2 years have passed. I visit Clara and her son often. The little boy calls me Aunt Elena, and his smile always warms my heart. Every time he laughs, I see Jacob's kindness shining through his eyes. Sometimes at night I look up at the sky and whisper, "I thought you were a liar, Jacob." But now I see the truth. You were never just my husband. You were my true love. You saved lives even when I couldn't understand. I wish I had seen your heart sooner and loved you without doubt. I will carry your love with me forever. And I will never forget the man who taught me what true love really means. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.